Hello students, good morning to all. I am Sister Alina and I am going to teach English grammar. The topic is the verb. In the previous classes you have already learned what is a verb, and in simple forms we have learned a verb is an action word or a doing word. Now, as per the definition given in your book, a verb is an action or a state. A verb is an action or a state. Now let's look into the meaning of action and state. Action means any physical activities that is done, and the state means any situation or position or fact, etc. So we have understood what is an action. Action means any physical activities, and state means any situations or positions or any fact like that. Now let's look into the example of physical activities or action. Kick, sleep, go, run, smile, etc. These are the examples of physical activities. Now, what are the examples of state? State verb means like have, own, think, etc. So, considering these two words, let's again look into the definition of the verb. A verb is an action or a state. A verb is an action or a state. Now, when we discuss about the state verb, we should keep in mind that in English grammar we do not use ing along with the state verb. For example, when I say I have 10 pencils, I have 10 pencils. Here I say that I own 10 pencils or my possession, something like that. And it is wrong to say I am having 10 pencils. Now, as we have discussed about the definition, let's look into the classification of the verbs. Verbs are two types or two kinds, that is auxiliary verb or the helping verb. Auxiliary verb or the helping verb, and secondly main or ordinary verbs. Main or ordinary verbs. Now let's look into the auxiliary verb. From the word itself we have understood what is an auxiliary verb. It's a helping verb. The main function of the auxiliary verb is to support the main verb. The function of the helping verb or the auxiliary verb is to support the main verb. For examples like is, are, was, were, has, had, all these are examples of helping verb. Now let's look some of the functions of this helping verb. First and foremost, as we said, in order to support the main verb we use the auxiliary verb. Secondly, to show the tense of the sentence, means whether it happened in the present or in the past or in the future. And thirdly, we see that to make a negative meaning of the sentence. For example, if I say this radio is not working properly, here I have used the word not along with the helping verb is. So it shows the negative meaning of the sentence. And lastly, we use the helping verb to make the question sentence. As I said the example, this radio is not working properly. If I make a question, is this radio working properly? Is this radio working properly? So these are the main functions of the auxiliary verb or the helping verb. First and foremost, to support the main verb. Secondly, we told to show the tense when it has happened, and thirdly, to make a negative sentence, and lastly, to make a question sentence. Okay, in the helping verb itself, there are some more words like can, could, may, might, shall, should. All these are also helping verb or the auxiliary verb, and these are called modals. M-O-D-A-L-S, modals. Okay. Now, for example, my sister can play the piano. My sister can play the piano. Here we have used can as a main verb or main verb. In auxiliary verbs, we also can use can, could, may, might, shall, should. Okay, these are called modals. These are called modals. So, if I give an example, my sister can play the piano. My sister can play the piano. Here we shows the ability of a person. Okay. Now, as we discussed about this helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs, we should understand that sometimes we use this helping verb as a main verb. Now, we go with the second types of verbs, that is main verb or the ordinary verb. Main verb or the ordinary verb. In the main verb, there are two types of verbs, that is transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitive verb or intransitive verb. Now we are going to look the classification of verbs. Classification of verbs. First and foremost, the auxiliary verb or the helping verb, and secondly the main or ordinary verb. The classifications are auxiliary or helping verb, and secondly main or ordinary verb. Now let's look into the auxiliary verb, and from the word itself we have understood it's a helping. The main function of the helping verb or the auxiliary verb is to support the main verb. For example, for the helping verb, is, are, has, have, had, all these things are the examples of auxiliary or helping verb. Now, the auxiliary verb has some functions, as I said, to support the main verb. Secondly, it shows the tense of the sentence, which means whether it happened in the present or in the past or in the future. And the third function of the auxiliary verb is to make a negative meaning to the sentence or to make a negative sentence. For example, if I say, this radio is not working properly. This radio is not working properly. Here I have used the word not along with the helping verb to show the negative meaning of the sentence. And the next function of the auxiliary verb is to make a question sentence. For example, is this radio working properly? Is this radio working properly? So these are the main functions of the helping verb. First and foremost, to support the main verb. Secondly, to show the tense. And thirdly, to make a negative meaning of the sentence. And lastly, to make a question sentence. Now, there are some more helping verbs like can, could, may, might, shall, should. All these are also helping verbs, and these verbs are called modals. These verbs are called modals. So I hope you have understood about the auxiliary or helping verb. Now let's go into the next classification of the verb, that is main or ordinary verb. Main or ordinary verb. For example, Mohini is dancing beautifully. Mohini is dancing. Okay. Now, in the main or ordinary verb, there are two types, that is transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitive verb and intransitive verb. Now, let's look into the transitive verb. Transitive verb means there will be an object to support the main verb. If I say an example, I fly a kite. I fly a kite. Here I as a subject, fly is a verb, and we have a word as a kite. This word a kite support the main verb. So in the transitive verb, we will have an object to support the main verb. And another example, India won the World Cup. India won the World Cup. Here we have India as a subject, won is the verb, and the World Cup is the object. So to understand this transitive verb, if we ask a question like what did I fly? I fly a kite. Or what did India won? India won the World Cup. So we get the answer. So to understand this transitive verb, it is easy that there will be an answer to the question what. Now we discuss about the intransitive verb. Intransitive verb has no object. For example, birds fly. Birds as a subject and fly is a verb. Birds fly. Here we have not used any object to support the main verb. For another example, the sun shines brightly. The sun shines brightly. Here the sun is a subject, shines is a verb, and we have used brightly. So in intransitive verb, we can use any adjectives or adverb to show something more about the verb. So this is all about the intransitive verb. Now in your book there is discussed about the direct object and indirect object. Let's begin with an example, that she gave him a watch. She gave him a watch. Now she as a subject, gave is the verb, then we have two words, him and a watch. So whenever we denote any persons, that is indirect object. Whenever we denote any persons, that is indirect object. And when we denote any object, anything, that is called direct object. I hope now you have understood the chapter. Now you need to read the lesson and do the exercise. Thank you.